Hello students, welcome to BTech 360. Today we're going to talk of an institution which has been very good, but at times because of the kind of fee structure that they have, the good quality students may be very afraid of applying there. So what did BITS Pilani do to tackle that problem of ensuring that everyone who deserves to study at BITS Pilani based on merit, how do they make sure that they actually come there and study there? This is one big revolutionary step for you to get the best students to be studying at your campus. In my belief, this is possibly one of the best things that happened for people who want to study in a good BTech college. Because here, what did BITS Pilani do? It said, we do understand that a fee structure might restrict some people to even apply to a college. So what do we do here? If you're in the top 500 BITSAT rankers, you will get 100% fee waiver. And we're not talking of EWS alone, because EWS is a definition where 8 lakh rupees is the income that you're talking about. Here, the income ceiling has been increased to 20 lakh rupees, which essentially means that if you're in the top 500 rankers of BITSAT examination and your family income is less than 20 lakh rupees, then your fee is 100% waived off. The total seats at BITS Pilani, by the way, BITS Pilani across the 4 campuses that they have is about 3,500 approximately, of which 500 students would get a 100% fee waiver if the fee income is less than, the annual income of the family is less than 20 lakh rupees. You can't find a better proposal than that. Let me explain to you how the whole thing works. So we're talking about BITS Pilani and we'll talk of how it all works. By the way, there are 4 campuses. We all know that. The 4 campuses are BITS Pilani, of course, the parent campus. Then you have the Goa campus that was started. Then you have the Hyderabad campus and you have the Dubai campus. So you are dealing with 4 campuses that we have for BITS Pilani, which is by the way, it's an IOE, which is an institution of eminence, and it's a deemed university. It's started in Rajasthan and then moved on to other branches also. And each of them is a big campus as you compare it, right? And the original campus, which is the BITS Pilani, has 328 acres of land. It is 11th best engineering college is what NRF says. In my opinion, it will be between 5 and 7. Actually 4 and 7 in my opinion, right? The total students is about 10,485. Now this actually, if you look at it based on the intake that you have now, the students for UG 4 years should be about 14,000 because their intake is about 3,500 plus or minus, right? So between 13,000 to 14,000 is what the student community would be at this point in time. This is slightly dated because we're talking of 24 data, 25, 26 it's increased a bit. The total male is 87%. I do wish that they can actually improve upon that because ideally I would want this to be about 70 and 30, but at this point in time it's 87 to 13% being girls. And about 78% students come from outside as far as Pilani is concerned, right? And within the state is 19%. And they also have about 400 students coming from outside the country, which is 4%. Of course, they also have the Dubai campus, that's an advantage for them. Now, what is the current scholarship that we're talking of? We're talking of Birla Institute of Technology and Science. Pilani will introduce, we call it tuition blind, which we also call it as need blind. What this means is that if you were to get a seat in BITS Pilani, if you will be admitted whether you can afford it or not, which means that assuming you come and say that, you know, listen, I've got admission, but I can't pay the fee that you're asking me, then the college will fund you, that which is what it is. But that is for the top 500 BITSAT rankers, starting from assistant year 26-27. Now, a typical thing when you say, you know, affordability is that EWS category, which is what the government of India defines as people whose family income is less than 8 lakh rupees. But BITS went far ahead and talked of family income of 20 lakh and per year, which means it covers more or less about 80% of the people or 70% of the people is my opinion. I don't know the income, economic, structure of the people who are joining BITS Pilani. But when you talk of 20 lakhs, the ceiling is very high up. So to that extent, my opinion is that about 70-75% students will qualify to get the 100% scholarship from if you were to top the BITSAT examination in the top 500. Of course, one more thing, it's not just at entry level. You need to maintain consistency of your performance, which is 7.5 CGPA every year. So every year, it's not just for the first year. Some universities, what they do is they give a scholarship for the first year so that you can attract students. But second year, third year, fourth year, they don't give those scholarships. BITS is not doing that. It's saying we will continue to give you a scholarship through the 4-year term, as long as not just at the entrance examination level, you maintain a CGPA of 7.5, which means you're pushing the student to ensure that you're working hard academically and getting your scores right, which is what this is. And that's a good way of ensuring that only the more deserving people who are interested in pursuing a great career are getting the scholarship. So we're talking of 7.5 CGPA on each year is what they're talking about. But most importantly for me, this 20 lakh per year is a revolutionary step. It's revolutionary because the government of India and many state governments and many private institutions talk of scholarships, but they limit it to 8 lakh rupees as a family income. And two, the other thing that they do is also ensuring that, they do it in the first year and then they don't take it further for the second, third, fourth year. BITS is ensured that they solve both those issues with one single step, which is 500 scholarships, which is very, very big. Mind you, we're talking about 3,500 kind of an intake. So about 1/6 of the students of BITS Pilani are likely or eligible to get scholarship as long as you're in the top 500 rankers of BITS Pilani. I'll also tell you what are the kind of cutoffs that you need to get into BITS Pilani. That's very important for you. And I'm taking it campus by campus, right? BITS Pilani has a total marks of 390. It's 130 questions, 3 marks for each correct answer. So in all, you actually, the total possible, maximum possible score is 390, right? Of course, not everyone gets 390 because one is 130 into 390, 390 marks, but they also have a negative marking of 1 mark for each, wrong answer, right? So last year, based on the 25-26 score that we have, for BE Computer Science and Honors, the highest closing score was 304 out of 390. For Mathematics and Computing, which is a very, very good program. In fact, in the age of AI, you must always push for Mathematics and Computing more than CSE Honors, in my opinion. It's 295. BE Electronics and Communication was 285. BE Electrical and Electronics Engineering is 260. BE MSc Economic Honors is 251. BE Electronics and Instrumentation is 250. MSc Semiconductor and Nanosciences Integrated is 239. BE Mechanical Engineering Honors is 235. MSc Mathematics Honors, it's integrated by the way, is 229. MSc Physics Honors is 223. MSc Chemistry Honors is 212. So remember, BITSAT is also an examination where you actually enter the other programs that BITS offers across not just the BE and BTech programs. Of course, they don't have a BTech program; they have a BE program. But you can also do the fundamental sciences, the foundational sciences, which is physics, chemistry, maths, and all those things. And they do have integrated programs, which is master's programs, right? BE Manufacturing Engineering Honors 211, BE Chemical 210, MSc Biological Sciences 208, BE Civil Engineering Honors is 206, and BE Environmental and Sustainability Engineering is 203. These out of 390. Maximum is 390. Right, from 390, this is what we are dealing with as far as BITS Pilani is concerned. Now, you go to the next level, BE Computer Science here is 270 for Hyderabad campus. Now, if you just go back to the earlier one at 270, you go back to the 270 here, basically people are preferring to be in Pilani for CSC, Mathematics and Electronics before they come down to BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus at 270. That's what is happening here, if you notice very carefully, right? So anyways, come back to this whole thing. You can also do a comparison. 270 here for CSC. Then for Mathematics and Computing is 266. Electronics ECE is 256. EEE is 239. Electronics and Information is 232. MSc Economic Honors is 231. They actually have a MSc Semiconductor and Nanoscience, which is a very good program again. 225 is the highest closing rank. Score rather. BE Mechanical is 214, MSc Mathematics is 212, MSc Physics is 209, Chemical is 205, Civil Engineering is 203, Biological is 203, Chemistry is 203, and BE Environmental Science and Sustainability Engineering is 181. These for Hyderabad campus. Then move to the Goa campus. The Goa campus seems to be slightly more preferred as compared to Hyderabad when you look at the scores, because here in Hyderabad it's 270 is the highest closing, here it's 274. Mathematics and Computing is 266 there, it's 268 here. And that's how you see the whole thing that Goa seems to be more preferred than Hyderabad at this point in time, though I do personally prefer Hyderabad as compared to Goa, by the way, right? So, CSE is 274, Mathematics is 268, ECE is 262, Electronics and Communication is 255, EEE is 243, MSc Economic Honors is 237, Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering is 234, Semiconductor and Nanoscience is 225, Mechanical is 223, MSc Mathematics Honors is 212, Chemical Engineering Honors is 206, MSc Chemistry Honors is 205, MSc Biological Sciences is 203, and BE Environmental and Sustainability Engineering is 189. So that's the 3 campuses that you have. You also have Dubai, right? But there the fee is very high, so we don't have exact cutoffs for that, right? Now, what is the examination? Because we talked of top 500 rankers of BITSAT is what will get the 100% scholarship if your family income is less than 20 lakh rupees. So, you obviously need to be the top 500, or otherwise you can still, I would always suggest that, if you get into any of these BITS campuses, you will get a loan and you'll be able to easily get in if you can't fund yourself. Take that bet, because your outcome, the student outcome in terms of placements and the median salary is very, very high when you consider BITS Pilani or any of the 3-4 campuses. We'll be doing a separate video of the kind of placements that each of these campuses have. You must keep looking at that for as far as we are concerned. Now, what is it that we are looking at this point in time? Examination, it's computer based online examination. It's 3-hour examination, 130 questions. Each question is 3 marks, right? Which is 390 marks. It's MCQs, 3 marks for the right answer and 1 mark for the wrong answer. This is very important. Typically, in most examinations, it's 1 mark over 4 marks. So the correct answer is 4 marks and the wrong answer is 1 mark. Here, the correct answer is 3 marks only, the wrong answer. So the chances that you lose it, a lot more is higher, because it's 1/3 is the loss that you're going to suffer if you go for a wrong answer, right? So you need to be very careful about making the choice of whether you will want to attempt a question or not, because the 1 mark is quite a bit. Because in any other examination, you actually have 4 marks for the right answer and 1 mark for the wrong answer. Now, what are the sections? Physics, chemistry, mathematics, English proficiency, logical reasoning. That's what you're dealing with, right? These are the exam dates. The reason why we are doing this, 16th March is the last date to apply for BITSAT. As far as the session 1 is concerned, 18th March is the edit window, 18th to 20th March, and 15th to 17th April is the examination. This follows the JEE examination. JEE examination, I think, ends on about 13th or 14th, and BITSAT is 15th. They also have another examination, which is in session 2, they call it. Between 20th April and 2nd May is the registration window, and the exam dates are 24th to 26th May. So that's what we're talking about here. My suggestion to all of you is, look at, BITSAT, try to top it. If you're writing for JEE, trust me, BITSAT it's manageable for you. You must attempt BITSAT examination, because earlier days, people were not attempting BITSAT because the fee was slightly higher. But with the 500 scholarship that they have, they've solved that problem for you. So you should attempt to be in the top 500 here and get onto with a 100% free ship, which essentially means that you're going to be a part of the best of the institution that you have in the country. And the fee that you're going to pay is almost next to nothing, which essentially means that you'll come out with a fantastic qualification from the best institution that you have in the country, institution of eminence, the best in engineering college ranking at this point in time, and you will not be paying any fee whatsoever. I hope this helps you, and please do subscribe to BTech 360 if you've not already done that. Very important for you to know that you're actually following us and we are able to help you, in your plans. And thank you so much. Namaste.